Welcome to the Herbalicious Alchemy podcast, the show where we explore the transformative powers of essential oils and their incredible ability to heal, inspire, and elevate your life. I'm Susie, a spiritual guide, teacher, and seeker, here to help you deepen your connection with yourself, Mother Earth, and the vast energies of the universe. I'm joined each week by my wonderful co-host, Sally-Ann Fisher. Sally-Ann is a healer and seeker who shares my passion for blending ancient practices with modern spirituality. Together, we'll guide you through the magical and healing properties of essential oils, uncovering how they can support your personal and spiritual growth, emotional well-being, and connection to the sacred. We'll weave these natural gifts into spiritual practices like tarot, the Akashic records, and the cycles of the moon, helping you align with your higher self and live a life of intention and purpose. In today's fast-paced and often disconnected world, it's more important than ever to ground ourselves in the nurturing power of the earth and embrace the wisdom of the cosmos. This podcast is your sacred space to explore, learn, and transform. One drop of oil, one card, and one lunar phase at a time. Hello and welcome to another amazing episode of the Herbalicious Alchemy podcast. As always, I have the beautiful Sally-Ann Fisher with me.
Hello.
So today we thought we would dive into tea tree. It feels perfectly aligned with the Northern Hemisphere, summer, and all of the beautiful things that it can help us with, from insect bites to so many different things. So welcome, Sally-Ann. I'm really excited to talk about tea tree.
Yes, tea tree is such a phenomenal oil. And if people understand it as melaleuca, I often say to people that tea tree is like saying apple tree, and melaleuca is like a specific genus, like saying Cox's apple or something. So melaleuca tea tree is, I believe, the most powerful, the greatest range of chemistry, the most benefit to the human body is the melaleuca tea tree.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, it's funny. I had a friend over the other day who had a big bite on his arm, and I gave him the tea tree and said, "Use this." And he's like, "Oh, I've used tea tree before. Bloody, bloody, blah. I understand tea tree." He lived in New Zealand for a long time. And he just opened the bottle and he went, "Whoa, that is the purest tea tree I have ever come across." And over the course of the evening, he put it on twice, and his bite was not itchy anymore. The swelling had gone down. So I thought, well, that's a really nice, what do you call it? Like
Positive
feedback.
oil experience.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. So let's dig in and really talk. Do you want to start today on some of the physical or emotional benefits?
Yeah, yeah. So tea tree is known as the oil of energetic boundaries.
Hmm.
And from a physical point of view, it's such an incredible oil. Like putting the oil on a bite, you're setting about, you're saying, "Oi, you don't belong there." Tea tree is antibacterial. It's got so many. I've got a book here on tea tree, and that list is everything that tea tree can do. I know that people won't be able to read that or see it, but that list is huge, and it's all the things that have been proven in science with a paper, medical paper, peer-reviewed paper that can back up the things that the oil can do. It's been used for centuries. It saved my son from a dog bite. We had it, my son got a dog bite when he was 5 years old, and the doctors put some sort of little stitches on there, and they told us don't put any oils or anything on there because we don't want the steri-strip to ping off. If it pings off, he'll have to go for maxillofacial or something like that. So I didn't put any of my oils on there. And then the next morning, he was so sore. His face was swollen. There was pus coming out from inside his mouth. And he just looked absolutely miserable. And the strips looked like they were just about to ping off anyway. So I used an ointment called Correctex, which one of its main components is the tea tree for antibacterial. And it's got other oils in it as well. Each one has an amazing thing that it brings to the party. But I was using Correctex for the Melaleuca in this case. And we put it on his lips. And 2 hours later, his swelling has gone down, the redness and the anger had gone down, the infection was gone, and he was healing. And I was able to keep applying that throughout the day, and he recovered very, very quickly. So Melaleuca, when used at the right time, can work with our bodies. Our body knows how to use that oil. Also, if you've got children and you go on holiday, suddenly hot country, swimming pool, lots of moisture, every parent is waiting for a child to go, Mommy, I've got pain in my ear. And you know it's an infection, and then you're looking for a doctor in a foreign country, you're looking for a prescription, you're trying to work out what you can do. What you can actually do is get your Melaleuca. This is Melaleuca in a roller bottle, which is pre-diluted, and it
Mm.
makes it very easy as an application to roll it around the back of the ear. We don't put oils inside the ear, but we can put them around there, and we run the oil down our jaw line as well and underneath, because an ear infection can be very painful for a child, and it can back all the way back along the tubes. That will take control of an ear infection. And actually, what I do is I give this to the children when we go on holiday, and before they even go in a swimming pool, we use it on everybody's ears every morning before the swimming pool. And when we get out of the swimming pool, we put it on as a prevention, and we never have that problem ever again. But it's a superb oil. It's definitely an oil, Susie, to have in your handbag or in your first aid kit,
Mm.
ready to use at a moment's notice.
Definitely. I mean, especially in summer now, we get bitten. It doesn't matter kind of how many sprays and things we put on for to prevent insect bites. We're going to get bitten by something because you can't create something that works for every single insect, right? I mean, I use tea tree in my homemade mosquito treatments because it is so powerful. But then I also use it afterwards after I've been bitten. And we tend to get here, there are lots of mosquitoes, but the spray works.
Mhm.
But it's, I don't know, a horsefly, a sandfly, it's a something fly that bites.
Yes.
And the homemade sprays don't really defend against that, but the tea tree afterwards is absolutely fantastic.
Fantastic, yeah. And also coming up towards September when all the children are going back to school, and
Mm,
you know there's going to be some sort of knit frenzy going on.
yeah.
I used to make up a detangling spray. My detangling spray was essentially water, a little squirt of fractionated coconut oil, quite heavy on the melaleuca, a little bit of lavender, a little bit of clove, a little bit of this, a little bit of that, a bit of peppermint, just small amounts of the oils.
Mm,
I can certainly write down this beautiful recipe in and put it in our Facebook group or and splash it around the place. But you make up this detangling spray, and then whenever the children wash their hair, I just spray the detangler through their hair and comb it through, and
yeah.
it just dries. It's just like a water spritz, really.
Yeah.
But the hair smells fantastic. It smells great
I
to
can
a human.
imagine.
It smells absolutely disgusting to a knit, and the knits will not even jump across to the hair. You don't even have a knit
Brilliant.
problem in the first place. If you do have knits in there or eggs in there, then the Melaleuca just kills them. It's so powerful, it just gets rid of them. So the Melaleuca, every parent should have a bottle of Melaleuca and then come to us to learn how to use it.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I can also drop my insect spray as well because it contains the tea tree, amongst other really powerful essential oils. So apart from bites and stings and all of those different things, there's lots of other physical benefits as well, aren't there, Sally Ann?
Yes, so I've got the list here, and it says acne, allergies, athlete's foot. Oh yeah, for sure. If you've got any sort of like problem on your feet, it's going to work really well.
Hmm.
I had, again, Headley had pink eye, and pink eye is quite, it can be quite dangerous if it gets set in. And there's not an awful lot you can do except go to the doctor and get something to put in it. But we had just arrived at skiing. We just arrived. We were going to be away for a week, and um, Headley said his eye was really sore. He's rubbing it and looked, and his eye was really pink. And I was like, oh no. So I said, Headley, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to dab the Melaleuca, because we don't put them in the eyes. I'm going to just dab the Melaleuca underneath your eye and just see if it will travel in a little bit and just help. And then we'll look for a solution tomorrow. Just as I was about to dab here, he moved. He put his head down. And so my finger with a little bit of Melaleuca went straight into his eye. um, he then started screaming because it hurt. And I was like, oh no. I cuddled him. After a couple of minutes, it had passed, and his eye, within the next hour, his eye just cleared up. And it was
Wow.
probably a happy accident that it worked so well. Not suggesting anybody puts any oils in anybody's eyes, but they're safe. If you do have a little accident, you can dilute with fractionated coconut oil. There's things that you can do, but that cleared up that pink eye really, really fast, and I was very grateful for the happy accident at the time.
Yeah, I
Um,
bet.
there's all
I,
sorts of other things on here. Obviously, it says ear infections, earache, flu, fungal infections, gum diseases. It says hepatitis, herpes simplex, hives, immune system. It says MRSA on here, mumps. It actually says pink eye. It's on the list.
ah.
Rashes, ringworm, rubella. I mean, the list goes on. I won't go through them all. There's not much that Melaleuca tea tree can't do. It's worth trying it. I often find that the essential oils have such a range of chemistry, and it's this little bit of chemistry that does that, and it's this little bit of chemistry that does that. And when you
Hmm.
have really high quality, pure essential oils straight from the plant, grown last season, let's not forget, this isn't a recipe that's been made hundreds of years ago and it's still trying to treat modern day infections, modern day bacteria. This is a
Hmm.
plant that grew last season, was harvested, and you're using the oil that the plant produced for its own immune system. The plant produced this oil not for us, but for its own inflammation, for its own bacteria, for its own viral threats that attack plants. So this oil is up to date, of the moment, in season. You can't beat nature.
Absolutely. Absolutely. 100%. So let's touch on the spiritual benefits now as well. So as Sally Ann said, it is the oil of energetic boundaries. Now, tea tree can help us in so many different ways within our spiritual practice. It helps us to clear negative energy and psychic debris from the aura, and Sally Ann's going to demonstrate how we can do that shortly. It supports energetic boundaries and spiritual sovereignty. So that means that it can help to clear energetic debris that has come into our aura to help us to stay in our sovereignty. And that means to really be in our own energy without, other people's energy coming in. So it's really powerful for empaths, healers, space holders, so that they can keep their aura really clear and pure. It can also help us cut the cords and release those energetic cords and imprints that others can put between us. And this isn't something that is like done mentally. This is when we have relationships with other people, an energetic cord can be built between you, especially if it's an intimate relationship or with someone that you spend a lot of time with. Those energetic cords can be placed there, and it means that either party can withdraw the energy from the other person, knowingly or unknowingly, right? So it's really important that we can clear these cords and attachments, was the word I was looking for, so that we clear these so that we are always in our own energy. And of course, it's really useful for before spiritual work, through readings, and lots of spiritual rituals as well, to make sure that when you're working with spirit in whatever form that is, that your channel is completely clear. So it's really powerful for doing that. And as I mentioned on the last podcast that we did, when I met Sally Ann, she did this amazing clearing for me. So I'm going to get you to explain that, Sally Ann.
Yeah, so it's the Melaleuca lemongrass or tea tree lemongrass clearing. The tea tree is the powerhouse in this pair, and I love how you talked about connections and attachments, because I believe that when we come into contact with people, we might not have even physically said hello to them. They may have simply walked past us. We might be wearing something really nice. We might be feeling really confident walking along. They might have a jealousy feeling towards us. And that
Hmm.
jealousy energetically connects like a little hook into
Yeah.
our chakra points down our spine. So the jealousy chakra, the sacral chakra, going to have a little hook in there, and they're going to be stealing our energy a little bit over time.
Yeah.
And over the days, weeks, months since the last clearing, you're going to be collecting these little energetic hooks. Even somebody who's a friend who's very well meaning, a little negative energy, little hook, and you're going to have that drain. And this is a fantastic way. What we're going to do is we're going to take our melaleuca. Now you can have it as an oil, or you can have it as the actual roller bottle, whichever's the easiest for you. And you're going to take the melaleuca and you're going to run it down your spine, right from the very top. There's a little bobbly part at the back of the neck, up in the hairline. And you're going to take that melaleuca and you're going to run it down your spine. Some people need someone to help them. And you're
Yeah.
going to run that melaleuca all the way down as low as you want to go, as low as you can, because you want to capture every single chakra. And then you're going to click your fingers and break those bonds all the way down your spine. You could do it a couple of times, and you're breaking those connections. Okay. And the way I describe it is this is like the cobwebs in the corner of the rooms, the stagnant energy,
Yeah.
and you are getting in there and you are breaking those cobwebs and they're falling to the floor. And you're setting your boundaries, you're breaking those connections with people. Okay. And then we'll talk a lot more about lemongrass in our next podcast. But what you're then going to do is you're going to get a drop of, you're going to get your lemongrass and you're going to drop it through your aura onto the top of your head. Right. And that is the oil of energetic cleansing. And that's like a big broom sweeping those cobwebs out of the room and
Yeah.
cleaning them. And the two work so superbly well together. It's exciting to do it. And most people will say that they feel the energy coming back slowly over a period of time. Like over
Yeah.
the next few hours, they'll just feel that energy coming. And the reason for that slow, I mean, immediately you can feel people feel unburdened. Within a few minutes, people say, wow, I feel so light. I feel unburdened. I think that was the experience that you had,
Yeah.
Susie,
Yeah,
at the time.
absolutely.
Yeah. But the rest of your energy will come back. And it's a bit like if I was to put an ice cube in your hand, Susie, and you held onto it. At first, it feels cold, but there's no problem it being there. But
Yeah.
after a little while, you're going to feel a lot of pain there. And
Yeah.
over time, you're going to be like, I really want to drop this ice cube now. And that's like this very small amount of energetic draining from your body. And if you leave it there long enough, like the ice cube, it's going to get really hurt. And I don't know if you've had the experience, you've been out, you've had a wonderful time, you come home and you've got really like a lot of lower back pain, like, oh, it really hurts here. It's all those connections in that chakra point that's
Yeah.
draining your energy like the ice cube. And when we remove the ice cube, it still hurts. You've taken the
Yeah.
ice cube away and it still hurts, and it hurts a lot. And it takes time for your body to pump that energy back in to
Yeah.
recover the warmth in your hand. And that's the effect we have. We feel unburdened, but to get the full effect over the next few hours, you can really feel the energy coming back to each of those chakra points.
Yeah, it's so powerful. It really is powerful. I mean, I had no idea that tea tree could do that when I started on this journey. So that's a really, really good way to use it. And then also, once you've done that, you could make up a spritz, a spray, just to keep your aura clean on a daily basis. There's lots of different oils that you can use for that. But if you've got tea tree and you're doing that, you might as well keep it
And it smells
with tea tree.
fantastic. And when you smell the doTERRA tea tree, I was giving a treatment to a lady this morning, and I wafted the melaleuca under her nose, and she was like, "Oh, it smells fantastic." And I knew it was the fact I ran it down her spine. I was letting
Yeah.
her smell it. I knew that the association of feeling free and floaty. She said, "Oh, I feel free and floaty." I knew it was the melaleuca, and I was smiling to myself because I was like,
Yeah.
"Yes, these oils are so powerful and fantastic."
Yeah, absolutely, 100%. So, with that in mind, I'm gonna pull a card. Now, I've got four cards in mind for the
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I've picked two, and I'll go into each one in small detail as there are two. So the first is the witch wound, right? Now, the witch wound is a wounding that comes from past life where we have had life as a witch, a healer, a medicine woman, a midwife, someone that uses their gifts to heal others, basically. Okay, and it is a very interesting wounding. And I know that, when we talk about the word witch. Even now, people are afraid of that. But the reason I've chosen this is because we have, in those lifetimes, experienced judgment, right? We've experienced persecution from using our gifts. And the tea tree can really help to remove that energetic imprint that we are holding on to so that we can feel safe in sharing our gifts, right? And like from my perspective, my point of view, coming on and talking about essential oils and telling you how to use them and all of those things is encompassed in being a witch or using those kind of energies. So many spiritual women have this witch wound, right? Which is very much about that fear of persecution, fear of being seen, fear of speaking up, speaking their truth, fear of sharing their gifts through the world, whether that's charged or not charged, not charging enough for their gifts. So tea tree is going to be really, really powerful in helping to remove that energy of fear, basically, of really standing in your sovereignty and feeling safe to embody your gifts. And then we also have soul contracts as well. So soul contracts again are an energetic energy. And they are so soul contracts are contracts that we have made in past lives to do have be experience something. So it could be that in a past life we decided to be a monk or a nun, right? And we would have made vows to live in servitude, to live in poverty, to live in solitude, all of those energies. And that energy is still there unless you clear it, right? And that energy will show up in this lifetime unless you clear it, right? So if you're, let's focus on the money side of things because everyone's interested in money, right? If you're having issues with finances, calling money in, getting a pay rise, anything to do with money, it could be because you made this vow of poverty. Now, the interesting thing is the vow of poverty can affect relationships and so many different things because, as part of that vow of poverty, you've agreed to live in solitude and you've agreed to live in service. So, in relationships, you may find that you're always giving in the relationship, but you're not getting anything back, right? So that's going to be part of did I show you the card? Contracts and agreements side of things. So unless we clear these, they're in our energy field, right? So we need to clear definitely both of these things. We've talked about tea tree is perfect for cutting those cords. So it's also really, really good for supporting you in clearing out those contracts because they're also stored within your aura and your energy field. Some are stored in our DNA and are passed down through lifetime and timeline. And also, it's really good for boundary work, psychic shielding, cleansing, and all of those things. So if you're working spiritually or if you're feeling like really drained, it's worth just spritzing or putting in your diffuser some tea tree. So, what are your thoughts on the card, Sally Ann? Did that all make sense?
Yeah,
As in,
it did make sense, Izzy, and I like that you brought up the witch. That people are scared of this term witch, and if you go back far enough in history, witch was not villainized like it is now. Witch was a wise woman that worked with herbs. You can think of
mm,
her as the healer in the village.
yeah,
Like I like to think of myself as the healer in the village, and I like to help people with herbs. The herbs happen to be in a very usable form of essential oils,
yeah,
um, and I do teach people about grabbing herbs out of their garden as well. So
mm,
I would be known as the witch, and it would have been a positive connotation if you go back far enough in time. But of course, um, different forces coming into play. Not useful to have a healer, a wise woman in the woods, healing people
Yeah.
when there are modern medications around. So the term was villainized in some way. And I think it's really great that you brought it up and explained that people have these wounds because we've all been a wise woman at some point
Yeah,
in
yeah,
our
yeah.
past life.
Or healer, mystic,
Yeah.
whatever that is, different names over different timelines and all of those things. And we would have had more than one lifetime where we would have used the energy of herbs in some form. Now,
Mhm.
for me, a witch is someone that uses the force of nature to create a better life,
Mhm.
right? And the force of nature is the herbs
Yeah.
and everything that Mother Earth gives us to help us in our day-to-day lives.
Yeah.
So it's definitely not a word to be feared, for sure.
Cool.
So,
I do have some affirmations when you're ready for them, when we're ready to close out the class
yeah,
today.
absolutely. Is there anything that you want to add on the emotional side of things?
I have my emotions book here, and I was looking earlier. I think we covered everything. The negative emotions associated is parasitic and codependent relationships, poor boundaries, easily influenced, drained, emotionally toxic, and feelings of powerless. And then if you're
Hmm.
using Melaleuca, you're going to have those energetic boundaries set. You're going to feel more independent, healthy, and respectful connections. You're going to make healthy. Maybe you make unhealthy connection. Like I always pick the wrong people. I always end up in. And they always drain your energy. And using
Yeah.
the Melaleuca is going to take you out of focus of those people. They're not going to touch you because they don't. They're not going to pull the wall over you. They're not going to be that. They're not going to be able to manipulate you. So you use the Melaleuca, and you're going to create some healthy, respectful connections with people, and feel a lot happy about the people around you as well.
Yeah, 100%. It can also help with shame. Like we hold on to shame on so many levels for so many reasons, like, shame of not earning enough money, shame of not being able to track the right partner, shame from past lifetimes that we're unaware of at the moment. So it's really good for clearing shame.
Mm.
Also overwhelm as well, emotional overwhelm, I think is a good one for Melaleuca as
Mhm.
well.
Yeah, I think when people take advantage of us, our first thought isn't, oh, they took advantage of us. Our first thought is self-criticism and feeling of shame that we allowed that person to take it. We blame ourselves, don't we?
Yeah,
That we allowed that
100%.
person, and we're like, we allowed it to happen again and again and again, and we get this feeling. So yeah, Melaleuca, use that, let that energy go. If that's not serving you, like get rid.
Absolutely, absolutely. There are so many benefits. So we will put some posts in the Facebook group. So some
Mhm.
recipes, a bit more information about tea tree. I'll put the blog in there as well so that you can really connect in. And of course, if you've got any questions about tea tree or any of the other essential oils, please feel free to reach out to either of us.
Yes, absolutely. Are you ready for some affirmations then,
I'm
Susan?
ready for some
Okay.
affirmations.
Okay, so we're going to get our drop of Melaleuca either as a drop or I just use the roller bottle on my hand. And we're going to breathe, always breathe in oil through the nose 3 times to get that beautiful scent and also to let the brain know what energy is coming in and start to make decisions about how to use that oil. So let's go. I release all that does no longer serve me, and stand strong in my energetic sovereign.
Hmm.
My boundaries are clear, and my spirit is protected. You can actually think of a blue bubble of protection when you use Melaleuca. It's kind of doing the
Mm.
same thing, Susie. I cleanse my energy field, and I invite only what uplifts my soul.
I love that.
Yeah. I'm free from toxic energies and create space for healing and expansion.
Fantastic.
And finally, with every breath, I purify my body, my mind, and my spirit.
I love it. They're really, really powerful affirmations. So, by working with the oil, because we give you affirmations every week, by working with the oil and really feeling into its energetic frequency, they're going to be really, really powerful. But also using tea tree to clear your energy, to, cleanse your space, and really start to uplift you, and then use the affirmations frequently. Well, not just
Yes.
once, frequently.
Frequently, yes.
They're going to be really, really powerful for
And
you.
I can also say, Susie, if somebody comes into it doesn't happen very often anymore, but if somebody came into the home and I just felt this negative energy, this very stuck energy, this very low energy, you obviously want to start, you want to get the Melaleuca and the diffuser going just to fumigate the room to help them out a little bit. But
Yeah,
also, when they've left, it's very important to clear the energy of your home,
yeah,
to bring it back to your own energy, to get that energy cleared.
absolutely. So tea tree is really, really powerful for
Yeah.
that. Is tea tree in Purify?
I'm sure it is.
It's got to be, hasn't it?
Purify is a blend of oils that all are antibacterial, and yeah, I'm sure it is.
Yeah,
Like we can put the we can put that in the Facebook group. I'm sure
yeah,
it is. If we've got time, I can even look it up. But let's have a quick look, shall we? Because I have a book here that tells me the ingredients
yeah.
and the blends.
Because I think Purify is a great one for cleansing your space in the morning and in the evening, and
You know what?
especially,
I'm thinking, Susie, if somebody wants the benefit of Melaleuca, but also they already have the blend Purify or they need other things, then yes, it would work very well. Yeah. So in Purify cleansing blend, there is lemon, lime, Siberian fir, citronella, tea tree, cilantro, which we know as coriander leaf.
hmm
Um, those oils are all very incredible for purifying and cleansing. You could use that blend
hmm
and use it how we've explained how to use Melaleuca. You'd have to dilute it and you'd get the same
yeah,
benefits because the Melaleuca is in that blend.
perfect. Awesome. Thanks for that.
Oh,
Wow, what an incredible
yeah,
essential
I'm
oil.
excited. And I'm
Yeah,
looking forward to our next podcast where we're talking about lemongrass because I think these two go hand in hand with each other.
absolutely. 100%. Thank you very much, Sally Ann. What an amazing episode. And we look forward to seeing you in the next episode.
Yeah. Bye
Ciao
bye.
for now.